Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Well, tonight we're going to begin with the recitation of the Hanumana Chalisa. It's on page 100. And everybody, please open your books and chant along with us. We'll chant it tonight instead of singing it melodically. Sri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamanu Mukuru Sudari Baranau Raghubara Bibala Jasu Jodaya Kapolachari Buddhihinda Tanu Jani King Sumarona Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohim Harakukale Shabikar Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Jai Hanuman Gada Gunasagar Jai Kapisati Huloka Ujagar Ramaduta Katulita Baladama Anjani Putra Pabana Sutanama Mahapir Vikrama Bajrangi Kumati Nipara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Parana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunjita Kesa Hatha Bhadra Udvaja Viraje Kande Munja Jane Usaje Sankara Subhana Kesari Nandana Teja Pratapa Mahajagapandana Vidyapan Kuniyati Chatur Ramakaj Kori Beko Atur Prabhu Charita Suni Beko Rasya Ramalashana Sita Manapasya Shuksma Rupa Dori Siya Indikava Bikatya Rupa Dori Lanka Jarava Bhima Rupa Dori Asur Sangare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Sambare Lai Sanjeevana Lakanjiyae Sri Raghubir Rashi Oralaye Raghupati Kini Bhaguta Bhardai Tuma Mama Priya Bharata Ki Samapai Sahasa Bhajandumaro Jasagabe Asgaki Sripati Kanta Lakabe Shonakadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sadhada Sakita Katisa Jamakubera Dikapala Jahante Kabiko Vidakakisake Kante Tuma Upakara Sugriva Kikina Rama Milayana Rajapadadina Tumaro Mantra Bibhishana Mana Langeswara Paisa Bhajakajana Jug Sahastra Jojana Parapanu Ilyotaki Madura Palajanu Prabhu Mujika Mili Mukamagi Jadilangi Gaya Achara Janagi Durgama Kaja Jagata Ke Jete Sugama Anugraha Tumare Tete Rama Duare Tumarakaware Hotama Agya Binu Pesare Sabasuka Laking Tumari Sarna Tumarakshaka Kagu Darna Apanate Jasangharo Ape Tino Loka Hanka Ke Kape Buddha Pisacha Nikatana Kingape Mahabira Jabanama Sunabe Nasiro Gari Sabapira Chapatanirantara Kanumatabira Shankakate Hanuman Chirabe Manakrama Pachana Jana Jolabe Sabapara Rama Tapasvi Raja Tina Kekad Sakalatu Masaja Or Manorata Joko Irabe Soy Amita Jivana Palapave Charam Jug Paratapa Tumhara He Parasiddha Jagata Kujiara Sadhu Santa Ke Tumrakaware Asur Kandana Ramadulare Ashta Siddhino Nidhi Kedata Asparadina Janaki Mata Rama Rasayana Tumare Pasa Sadarako Raghupati Kedasa Tumare Bajana Rama Kopabe Janama Janu Keduka Bisarabe Antakala Raghupati Purajagi Jahana Janmari Bhakta Kahari Or Devta Chitana Darake Hanumata Se Sarva Sukha Karate Shankata Kate Mite Shapapira Chosumire Hanumata Balabira Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karaku Guru Deva Kinai Yo Satapara Pata Karakoi Chuta Kibandi Mahasuka Hoi Joya Paraya Hanuman Chalisa Hoi Siddhi Sati Gorisa Tulsi Dasa Sadori Chera Kijiye Naprita Kamandirham Pavanatanaya Shankatarana Mangalamurti Rupa Ramalashana Sita Sakita Hridaya Basa Kusura Bhup Siyabhora Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Let's go back and study the meaning for a few minutes on page 100. Hanuman Chalisa. Now, Chalis means 40. And Chalisa means adventures. And there are 40 verses which describe the adventures of Hanuman. And all the major deities have their own Chalisa. So there's 40 verses, a song which enumerates the adventures in 40 verses about the deity. So, cleansing the mirror of my mind by the dust of the respected Guru's lotus feet. Ooh, what an opener. What a way to start the day. I take the dust from the Guru's lotus feet and I cleanse the mirror of my mind so that it's pure and spotless and it can reflect exactly the purity of devotion that comes from the dust of the Guru's lotus feet. I describe the pure welfare of the respected Ram, the giver of the 4 rewards. Remember, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the ideal of perfection, the needs for physical sustenance, or the resources necessary to achieve that ideal. The culmination of all desire and liberation, otherwise known as self-realization. Same thing, liberation and self-realization. Being free from debt and free from all other desires, other than to be in the presence of God. Realizing myself to be of little or no intelligence. Jai Hanuman. You bring tears to my eyes. Satya Vidya Vinayam Dadati. True knowledge bestows humility. Hanuman is just the example of that humility. Realizing to myself to be of little or no intelligence, I pray to the Son of the Wind, Hanuman, please give me strength, intelligence, and knowledge, and remove all pains and impurities, please. Victory to Sita and Ram, victory to Hanuman, the son of the wind, victory to the great Lord Shiva, the husband of Uma. And now, let's read these adventures. Victory to Hanuman, the ocean of wisdom. Victory to the king of monkeys who enlightens the 3 worlds. The ambassador of the respected Ram is the repository of extraordinary powers, the son of the shining one whose name is the son of the wind. Great hero, most courageous, endowed with a very strong body, destroyer of negativity, the friend of purity. His golden body is beautifully dressed. Large rings adorn his ears and curly locks of hair. He holds a thunderbolt and a flag in his hands and wears a sacred thread of munja grass across his shoulders. So he's got that sacred thread. And his is made out of grass instead of string. He is an incarnation of the cause of peace, Shankar. Sham means peace and Kar means cause, and Shankar is the name of Shiva, the cause of peace, and the son of the king of the monkeys, Kesari Nandana. Radiance of his light is worshipped in the world. He is full of knowledge, possessing all qualities, and very intelligent. Even though he realizes himself to be of little and no intelligence, that is his greatness. That guy knows something. He is always eager to serve the respected Ram. He always delights in hearing stories of the Lord. Ram, Lakshman, and Sita dwell in his mind. In his very small form, he showed himself to Sita. Remember, he became as small as a muksaka saman. He became as small as a mosquito and entered into the grove where he found Sita and assumed a tremendous form. He burned the city of Lanka. Remember, they set his tail on fire. He became small and slipped out of the chains, and then he became humongous. And with the fire on his tail, he started the fire of the conflagration of all of Lanka. He burned the kingdom of the ego to ashes. With a gigantic form, he slayed the demons and made the respected Ramachandra's mission successful. He saved Lakshman's life by bringing the life-giving herb. Remember, he brought the Sanjeevani. Lai Sanjeevana Lakanjiaye. He brought the Sanjeevani herb from the Himalayas, and he couldn't figure out which herb it was, so he brought the whole mountain. And the respected Ram was so happy that he hugged him with delight. Imagine getting hugged by Ram. It's almost as good as getting hugged by Mom. Almost as infrequent as well. The Lord of Raghu praised him highly. That's Ram. He's the Lord of Raghu, the Lord of light. You are as beloved to me as my brother Bharat. And Bharat who shines with wisdom. In fact, the Bharatvarsh is the name of India, named after he who shines. And the name of Bharat means the land where the light of wisdom always shines. Bharat is the name of the sun. It comes from the root Ba, to prakash, prakashi, to illuminate, to shine, to radiate. Thousands will sing your glory, said the Lord of Lakshmi with fond embrace. The Lord of Lakshmi is Vishnu, and Vishnu came as Ram. So he hugged him and said, thousands will sing your name, and here are a few at least. All the way around the world, we're singing his name right now. Shanak and his brothers, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanakumar, Brahma and other munis like Narad, Sharada, Saraswati, as well as Shesha. Remember the 1,000-headed snake who holds aloft the earth, the serpent that holds aloft the universe. Jam, the god of death, Kuber, the god of wealth, and the gods of all the quarters, wherever they may be. Poets, nor even scholars, can enumerate your glory. No one has the capacity to describe how wonderful you really are. You gave a great benefit to Sugriva by making his association with respected Ram. Remember, Sugriva was the king of monkeys. He was the brother of Bali who was chased out of his kingdom. He lost the kingdom to his brother. And then Hanuman said, hey, come and meet Ram. He's going to help you get your kingdom back. Who placed the lost kingdom at his feet. Yep, that's what Ram does. He just gives you the kingdom. You gave the mantra which was accepted by Bibhishan, and he became the king of Lanka, as the whole world knows. Everybody knows that discrimination took over the kingdom of the ego, and then we started thinking about what we want to get and what we want to do in order to get it. We started discriminating as to what's the appropriate action to get what we want to get. One time in your childhood, believing the sun to be a delicious fruit, which is millions of miles away, you jumped up and swallowed it. You leaped over the ocean, keeping the ring of the respected Ram in your mouth, thinking that it was nothing extraordinary. So Ram took his ring. It was a nishani. It was the emblem to show Sita that Hanuman actually was an ambassador of Ram. He put it in his mouth, between his lips, and he jumped across the ocean and flew. All the difficult tasks in the world become easy by your grace. You are the beloved of the respected Ram, and you protect his entrance. No one may enter without your order. So Hanuman always stands outside the entrance to Ram, and you must have pure devotion in order to enter into the perception of the subtle body of the perfection of consciousness. You need pure devotion in order to see Ram. Remember, Ra is the subtle body, A is the manifestation of consciousness, Ma is the perfection, Ram, the perfection of the subtle body of manifested consciousness. In order to perceive the perfection of the subtle body of manifested consciousness, you must have pure devotion. All happiness is attained by taking in refuge in you. What fear can come when you are the protector? Please control your brilliant light. Where are my sunglasses? I can't. Though three worlds tremble at the sound of your tremendous roar. Ghosts and demons cannot even come close to he who chants the name of the great warrior Hanuman. All infirmities will be cured and all difficulties removed by continually chanting the name of the brave Hanuman. Hanuman will dispel all difficulties from anyone who remembers him in thought, action, speech, and meditation. That's fun. If you think about it, if you do it, if you talk about it, or even just close your eyes and meditate upon it, Hanuman will dispel all difficulties from anyone who meditates on pure devotion. With pure devotion, on pure devotion, and all the difficulties are gone. Above and beyond all is the King Ram, performer of purifying austerities. You help him in all his works. Any desire with which people come to you is fulfilled by you with the fruit of the tree of life. So you're the fulfiller of all desires. What could you possibly desire when you're worshiping pure devotion with pure devotion? All the other desires are fulfilled. In all four ages, the greatness of your light is known, and the world is aware of your extraordinary attainment. You protect the performers of purifying austerities and saintly beings. You destroy the evils of duality, and you are loved by Ram. You are the bestower of the 8 powers of attainment as well as the 9 forms of wealth. This is the boon that Mother Sita gave to you. So remember, Hanuman burned down Lanka. He came back to Sita, bowed down and said, Mother, I'm going to go get Ram now. Please give me your blessing. And Sita said, you have every blessing already, but I'm giving you the Ashtasiddhi no Nidhikedata. I'm giving you the 9 forms of wealth and the 8 forms of spiritual attainment. You will be a repository of all qualities. You have the nectar of Ram's love. You always remain the servant of the respected Ram. By singing your praises, one can get Ram and be freed from the pains of many births. Ultimately, such devotees will go to the city of Ram and always take birth with devotion to God. Please, Hanuman. That's a wonderful boon. There is no need to contemplate other gods. By worshiping Hanuman, all happiness is attained. If you worship pure devotion with pure devotion, what other god need you worship? All difficulties may be removed, all pains destroyed for one who remembers the brave Hanuman. Victory, victory, victory to Hanuman. Give us your mercy, Kripa Karu. Give us your grace. Give us give us the fruit of our karma. And give us discrimination so we sow the proper seed, so we get the fruit we want. Give us mercy, O beloved Guru. Whoever recites these verses 100 times will be released from all bondage and attain supreme happiness. Whoever recites these verses about Hanuman will attain perfection and will become the friend of Lord Shiva. Well, Shiva's always meditating on Ram, and Hanuman is the incarnation of Shiva. So if you meditate and sing these verses for Hanuman, Shiva becomes happy, Ram becomes happy. It's a win-win negotiation. What are you waiting for? Tulsidas, who is always at the feet of Ram, prays, "O Lord, please always dwell in my heart." Good prayer, Tulsidas. O Son of the Wind, who removes all difficulties in the form of the image of welfare, always dwell in my heart together with Lakshman, Sita, and Ram, the king of all gods. Victory to Sita and Ram, victory to Hanuman, the son of the wind, victory to the great Lord Shiva, the husband of Uma. Let's move on to the Bajranga Bana, the arrow of the very strong. He's got his anga, his body is like Vajra. It's like lightning, or like a diamond. It's so strong and hard, it radiates light, and any weapon will just bounce right off. And he's got an arrow. And this is the arrow of the one who's got a diamond hard body, or a body that shines like lightning. Atha Bajranga Bana Nischay Prema Pratitate Binay Kareng Hansanaman Tehi Kikarana Sakala Shubha Siddhi Kareng Hanuman Siyabora Ramachandra ki jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadeva ki jai Jai Hanumanta Santa Kitakari Suni lijiye Prabhu Araja Kamari Janakika Jabilambana ki jai Aturatori Makadu Sukadijay Jaise Kudi Sindhu Makipara Surasan Vadana Paiti Vistara Adijahi Lankini Roka Mare Tulata Gaki Suraloka Jai Bibhishan Kosu Kadina Sita Niraki Paramapadalina Bad Ujari Sindhu Makambora Atiyatur Yamakataratora Akshay Kumara Kumara Sanghara Lumlapeta Lanka Kojara Lata Samana Lanka Jarikai Jaya Jaya Dwani Surapura Makambai Ababilamba Kekikara Naswami Kripa Karakur Antarajami Jai Jai Lashana Pranakadata Atura Iyaduka Karakunipata Jai Giridara Jaya Jai Sukasagar Surasamuka Samarata Bhatanagar Om Hanu 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 Manta Hatile Bari Imaru Bhadra Kiki Gada Bhadrale Bari Imaro Maharaj Prabhudasu Charo Omkara Kumkara Prabhudavaku Bhadra Gada Kanubilamba Nalabo Om Ring 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 Anumanta Kapisa Om Anu Anu Urasisa Satya Kokuari Sapata Paike Ramaduta Guru and Mari Jaike Jai 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 Hanumanta Agada Duka Pabata Janake Aparada Puja japa tapa nema chara, nahin janata hodasa tumara, bana kupapana makagiri grihamaki, tumere bala kamadara patanakim, payam parakuko rejoru manabakum, yatio sarabake gorabakum, jayanjani kumara balabanta, sankara subanapira kanumanta, Pananakarala kala kula palaka, Ramasayaka sadapagati palaka, Buddha preta pisacha nijacha, Agni vaitala kala maricha, Ine marutogi sapataramati, Rakunat marajabam namati, Janaka susahari dasa kahabo, Taki sapata bilamba nalabo, Jaya 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 Duniyota Akasa, Sumarata Hota Sudaha Dukanasa, Charana Charana Kara Jori Manabo, Yaki Avasara Bake Korabo, Utu Chalu Toki Rama Dohai, Payam Parong Kara Jori Manai, Chan 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 Chalapapalanta, Om Anu Manta. Om Anganka Deka Kapichancha, Om Sang Sakami Purani Kaladal, Apane Janako Turatubaro, Sumarata Hoyam Nanda Kamaro, Yakabajranga Bana Jekimare, Taki Hikai Gara Pona Pupare, Patakarin Bajranga Banaki, Hanumata Rakshakarin Pranaki, Yaha Bajranga Bana Jojape, Pati Bhuta Preta Sabakape, Dupadaya Guru Jape Amisha, Taki Naki Raki Kalesha, Prema Pratita Kikapi Pache, Sadadare Udyan, Tehi Kekara Jasakala Subha. Siddhi Kare Hanuman Siyamara Ramachandra ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Spring, a spring, a spring, a strong, a spring, a throw, Hanumate Namaha. Ing, string, hung, hing, hung, a spring, a throw, O Pavanananaya Swaha. Let's return to page 114, and now the arrow of the very strong. Also he who shines like lightning, or who has a diamond-hard body. Surely, he who worships Hanuman with firm faith, humility, love, and respect is sure to attain perfection. Nishcha, without a doubt. Nishandeha, sure, without a doubt. If you worship Hanuman with full faith, humility, love, and respect, you will attain perfection. Victory to Sita Ram, victory to Hanuman, son of the wind, victory to the great Lord Shiva, husband of Uma. Now this Jai, it means both victory and it means praise and it means a lot of other things. It's a wonderful word. Jai means victory, and Day means just be unto you. May you be famous, may you conquer, may you have attainment. Victory to Hanuman, the well-wisher of saints. Oh Lord, please listen to my prayer. Please fulfill the wishes of the people without delay. Please grant the greatest comfort with great haste. When you jumped over the fathomless sea, Sursa expanded her vast body. Remember that the demon became humongous and stopped him in flight. And then she stopped him and she said, "You can't go any farther." And he tricked her. He said, I promise I'll enter your mouth, but I'm not going to be eaten by you because I'm on a mission for Ram. And so Hanuman made his body big, and Sursa made her body bigger. And then Hanuman made his body bigger, and Sursa made her mouth even bigger. And when her mouth was humongously wide open, Hanuman became as small as a mosquito, entered in the mouth, and flew out again. And he said, see, I entered your mouth, and now you can't eat me. Moving on, Lankini stopped you, and with a swift kick of your foot, you sent her to the realm of the gods. Out of the way. Praise to be Bhishman, who received such comfort. Just seeing Sita, he received salvation. You gave Bhishman such comfort, and seeing Sita, you received salvation. It was such a joy. It was like you had accomplished your mission. You saw Sita and verified her whereabouts, and now you can go back and tell Ram. Destroying the garden, you threw it in the sea. Seeing your agitation, even the god of death became nervous. So remember, he went to eat the fruits of the kingdom of the ego. And the guard said, you can't eat those fruits. And he had a battle with the fruits, with the garden protectors. And he won. And when he was fighting with the protectors of the garden of the kingdom of the ego, even the god of death became nervous because he was sending so many people. He was to their death. He was so furious that even Yam was afraid. You slayed the demon Akshay Kumar and burned Lanka with your fiery tail. Remember, that was the youngest son of Ravana. Ravan said, I'm going to go see this monkey. And Akshay Kumar, the ever young boy, said, hey, why my father, the king of the kingdom of the ego, has to go to fight with a monkey? What nonsense, I'll go myself. Father, I can catch a monkey. And, of course, he was slain immediately by Hanuman. And then Hanuman burnt down Lanka with his tail. Lanka was burnt like pine pitch. All the gods rejoiced over this excellent accomplishment. He just set it on fire, and it burned like it was full of pine pitch. Do not delay now, O Master of all causes. Be merciful to me, O my most innermost self. Victory to he who gave life to Lakshman. Do away with, totally destroy all pain and agitation. Victory to the support of the mountain, Giridhar, who holds aloft the mountain. Victory to the ocean of happiness. Victory to the powerful warrior in front of the city of the gods. Om Hanu 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 Hanuman. With great obstinance you killed the enemies with the spikes of your thunderbolt. Hanu means a chin. When Hanuman was a baby, he fell down from his cradle, and he landed on a rock, and he broke the rock. And he landed on his chin, so they called him Hanuman, the man with the big chin. With the indestructible chin. He takes it on the chin every time. Chin up, stiff upper lip. With your club and your thunderbolt you slayed your enemies. When your servants called for your help, O great king, O Lord, when you are called with the sound of Om and Hum, without delay you come with your thunderbolt and club. So using those two mantras, Om, Hum, remember goddess the goddess said Hum to Dhumalochan. And Dhumalochan, sinful eyes, immediately became a pile of ashes. Just look at all the sinful eyes. We had to, it wasn't just a pile, we had to make a Havan Kun for it. Om Maya, Maya, Maya! Rim, 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 Hanuman, the king of the monkeys. Om, cut the ego, ego, cut the ego of your enemies, you who are the head, the highest or ultimate. You were completely true to your oath to Hori. I remember he promised Vishnu, Hori, that he would come and help. Hori said, I'm going to go down there and take an avatar roop. I'm going to incarnate on earth and do away with the ego and his kingdom of the ego. And Shiva said, okay, I'll go too and help you. So you were completely true to your oath to Hori, the ambassador of Ram, slayed all enemies. Victory, victory, victory to Hanuman, who is fathomless. Who can know you? Why do people suffer? What wrong do they do? I'll tell you very quickly. They forget to say your name. Oh, Hanuman, this servant does not know how to worship, to constantly remember your mantra, to perform purifying austerities, or to perform good conduct. He who has firm faith in you has no fear in the jungle, the garden, on the path, on the mountain, or at home. With folded hands and touching your feet, we request you to fulfill our desire of attaining divinity. Please. Please. That's the only true desire that we maintain, Hanuman. We're touching your feet. We're folding our hands. We're bowing down to you. Please fulfill that desire. It's a pure desire. It's not a bad thing. It's not very selfish. Victory to the son of the wind and powerful boy, offspring of Shiva, brave Hanuman. So he's called the offspring of Shiva because he was incarnated from Shiva, so Shiva gave birth to him. He's an avatar. In fact, he's the 11th avatar of Shiva. With a formidable body, you are the child of the family of time. Ram always helps you and protects you. Everywhere you go with Hanuman, Ram will be there to protect you and to help you fulfill your objective. You slay ghosts, goblins, evildoers, and beings of improper conduct in the fire of time. To slay these beings is your vow to Ram. So Hanuman took a vow to Ram. He said, look, anybody who's a devotee who calls out to me, who is perplexed by ghosts, goblins, evildoers, or beings of improper conduct, Hanuman will come and protect them, and that's his vow to Ram. O King of Protectors, this is your practice for those who call your name. It is your sadhana. It's your vow. That's what you do. That's tapasya for you. You were the servant of Janak's daughter Sita. Remember, Janak was the king of Mithila. His daughter Sita he was protected by Hanuman. For Janaki's vow, you did your work without delay. So Janaki is the name of Sita. The daughter of Janak is Janaki. Victory, victory, victory. This voice reaches as high as the sky. By remembering you, unbearable sufferings are destroyed. We bow to your feet with folded hands. Please listen to our prayer. Please listen to us now. Arise, arise. Let these couplets move to Ram, we proclaim. Bowing to your feet with folded hands of devotion. Hey, couplets. Hey, I'm singing all of these stanzas, all this poetry. Please, go to Ram. Let Ram know that I'm singing about his servant Hanuman. Om chum 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 chum, with nimbleness they move. Om Hanu 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 Hanum, they move to Hanuman. Om hum hum hum, they call to the restless monkey. Om sum sum sum, the frightened army of evil runs away. Quickly liberate your people, that's us. For those who remember you, you fill them with supreme bliss. Whenever anyone uses this arrow of the very strong, then what harm can ever come to them? Whoever recites this arrow of the very strong, and that's talking about this entire piece, these entire verses, this entire we'll call it a stuti, as it's a special song in praise of Hanuman. Whoever recites this arrow of the very strong Hanuman will protect that life force. Whoever will recite this arrow of the very strong, ghosts, goblins, all tremble to see him. Offering incense and always reciting this, all physical difficulties disappear. He who worships Hanuman with love and faith and remembers Hanuman all the time attains the fulfillment of perfection. Victory to Sita and Ram. Victory to Hanuman, the son of the wind. Victory to the great Lord Shiva, husband of Uma. Spring, a spring, a spring, a strong, a string, a throw, Hanumate Namaha, Om Eng, Sring, Hong, Hing, Hung, a spring, a throw, a spring, a throw, Om Pavananandanaya Swaha, light of wisdom, fruits, wisdom, perfection. Supreme divinity, fruits, the subtle body, wisdom, perfection. Supreme divinity, fruits, subtle body, wisdom, perfection. Supreme divinity who takes away the inharmonious, protection, perfection. Supreme divinity, light of wisdom, fruits, wisdom, subtle body, wisdom, perfection. Supreme divinity, subtle body of consciousness, nature, we bow to Hanuman. Om, the infinite beyond conception. Om, wisdom, increase, supreme divinity in the gross body, supreme divinity in the subtle body, supreme divinity in the causal body, supreme divinity's fruits, wisdom, perfection, supreme divinity, subtle body, consciousness, nature. Om to the son of the wind, to the bliss of liberation. I am one with God. And these are the fruits that we are asking for. The fruit of our karma, the kripa, the grace, the fruit of all the seeds that we sow. These fruits are the fruits of the subtle body. Ho is the manifestation of consciousness. Or Ha is the supreme I. Sha is the peace. Ha is the fall, the fruit. Ra is the subtle body. A is the wisdom. And Anuswar is perfection. Hashreng, Hastrong, Hakshring, Hasro. These are the fruits that we are seeking. That I be filled with the peace, the fruits of peace in the subtle body and illuminated with the perfection of wisdom. Do we have any questions?
We have a question from Rolf from Mountain View.
Namaste, Rolf.
Swamiji, what is the difference in the merits obtained by puja and japa? How do we know which one is the best for us to do at a given time?
Japa is a subset of puja. You do the puja, and within the puja you do the japa. Very difficult, very, very difficult to just sit down and do japa. For example, Rolf and Rita, can you just sit down and say, okay, now I'm not going to think about anything? No. You sit down and say, now I'm going to guide my awareness into a place where I can think about something very beautiful, and only that one thing. And then you can enter into the space of no thought. Now, japa is the prelude to entering into the space beyond thought. Puja is the packaging which allows us to guide our awareness into japa. So japa is a part of puja. They're not different disciplines. They're one and the same.
Sometimes if it's a mantra that you do all the time, or it's your guru mantra, or something that you're doing regularly, you probably can fall into the bottom of that mantra.
I doubt it very highly.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, you'll want to sit down. You want to purify your hands. You want to create the environment and the bhava in order to be able to sit still. You won't just sit down and say, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya. You'll probably sit down and say, okay, here's purifying my seat. I'm bowing to all the gods. I'm lighting a piece of incense. I'm lighting a candle. I'm washing my hands. I'm washing my mouth. And I have a few other things to say to you, Shiva. Om Namo Shivaya. So, very unlikely that you will just sit down and say, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya. Now, there is all japa, which means that the mantra is making japa of you. Without count. Without a mala. Without any... The mantra is going on all the time. Now, that is also a subset of puja, because you're doing something so mechanical that you don't require to stop and think about every step and every phase in the activity that you're performing. So then you are allowed the privilege to go into japa without count.
Question from Devi from Atlanta.
Namaste, Devi Ma. Please give our love to Angel.
Can we use the same Rudraksha for all the deities, or does each need to have their own?
You can use the same Rudraksha for all the deities. And you can offer it once in the puja, and whoever is the Ishta, or the central deity of the worship that you are performing, you can offer all of the offerings to that one deity. So in Hanuman Puja, you can offer it to Hanuman. The next day, if you're doing Devi Puja, you can offer it to the Devi. If you're doing Shiva Puja, you can offer it to Shiva. Just offer him everything and say, look, you accept this on behalf of all the gods. Now, if you want to, and you have a staff to help you prepare, then you can think about offering one special set of offerings to each deity to whom you offer puja. But we're in the puja business. I mean, that's our life. So it's sufficient that we offer one set of everything to the primary deity of our worship. And then we offer to the others. Every deity has 5 specific sets of mantras which are particular to that deity, Devi. Every deity has a Gayatri mantra. Every deity has a specific dhyanam. That is a description of their form, which is particular to that deity. The description of Shiva is very different from the description of Ram. Every deity has a specific bij mantra with which we do nyasa and also do their japa. Every deity has a specific stotram, one song or stuti or stab, which particularly describes the activities and functions of that deity. And every deity, as the 5th one, has a specific pranam. I bow to you. So if you offer these 5 sets of mantras to each of the deities that you wish to worship, and make all of the physical offerings to one deity who is your primary deity of worship, then you'll be very, very efficient. You'll be covered. And if any of them have an objection, tell them Swami told me to.
Swamiji, a question from Usha from Canada.
Namaste, Ushama.
Can a long puja be performed on more than one day, like we're doing with the Chandi?
No. Better that you do bits and pieces of it. But you can do a part of the puja on one day, and that'll be your puja. And you can take this part of the puja for one day, and then on another day you can take that part of the puja. But each of the pujas, every day you sit, you'll want to do Devata Pranam, and a new Sankalpa, and a new Sankalpa Shukta, and then you could choose the deities that you want to worship. For example, if you were going to do the cosmic puja, you would do the entire, from the beginning of the Devata Pranam to the end of the Shanti Pat at the completion of the Sankalpa. That must be completed every day, every time you sit down. I want to say, the first thing I'm going to say is, hey, I bow to you gods. Hey Ganesh, namaste. This is me, Swami, sitting here. I'm going to worship you all. And now you can choose the portions of the puja that you want to do for that day. And in that way, we can create a sankalpa. If you like us, please send me an email, Usha, and we'll work on it together. Just as we perform the 9-day Chandipat, we'll create a cosmic puja over a certain period of time.
Some question from Pratibha from Foster City.
Namaste, Pratibha.
Is there atonement for failing in a sankalpa? I failed to complete the chandi in spite of the sankalpa.
Aparada sahasrani kriyante harna shamaya. I advise you to memorize it. I commit hundreds of mistakes every day. Tat sarvam shamashwa devi. Proceed the Parameshwari. Please forgive me. I'm trying. I am trying. The Kshama Prarthana at the back of the Chandi is just for that purpose. It is the errors and omissions clause in our contract. Maaf kijiye. Maaf karna padega. Tat sarvam shamashwa devi. Proceed the Parameshwari. Oh, again at the Smritya Brantya. Yanyu Madati Kang Sarvam. Tat Sarvam Shamyatam Devi. Proceed the Parameshwari. If I committed any mistake from ignorance, again at the Smritya, forgetfulness, Brantya, plain old confusion. Tat Sarvam Shamyatam Devi. Oh, Mom, please forgive me, I'm your kid and I'm trying to do the best I can. Yes, that's what you want to use as your prayer for forgiveness.
Another question from Devi from Atlanta.
Yes, Devi Ma.
Can you please tell us the procedure for placing on the altar a newly purchased Devi? Thank you.
I wrote a book about it. I would start off with the Pran Pratishta. You can use the Pran Pratishta mantras within the cosmic puja. We just did the Pran Pratishta for Hanuman here. And there's even more. It goes on and on and on. So start off, you wash the deity, you wash the place, you put the asan yantra underneath every deity. Every deity worth his salt or hers sits on a yantra. So the same yantra we put under our asan, and then a flower. Tiganda pushpayom ring, adara shaktaye kamalasanaya namaha, and then the deity. And then we want to fill it with life. And make the Pran Pratishta. Ang ang ring rong yang rang long wang shang thang thang omang sa. And then to the name of the deity, and then blow that breath of life into the deity, and then you can begin to worship. So, yes, there are, take the Pran Pratishta sections from either the Cosmic Puja, the Hanuman Puja, the Shiva Puja, and you can apply that to your deity if you need to know the Bij mantra of your deity or the 5 ingredients that I just told you about. The Gayatri for that deity, the Gyanam for that deity, the Bij mantra for that deity, a specific stav or shuktam for that deity, and the pranam for that deity. Consult the cosmic puja. Most of the deities, or the primary deities, are included therein. Yes, please.
From the club, Swami, a message came in, a question came in from Henny. The question is this: if everything is God, is not the ego also a manifestation of the divine? And then, would there be growth if the ego did not fight?
Oh, two very good questions, Henny. Namaste. Please give our love to all the friends in Holland and in all across Europe. Henny, certainly the ego is divine, but he forgets. And he thinks he's separate. He is divine, and our purpose is to remind him of his inherent divinity. He is not separate from the rest of the creation. He is one part of creation. And so he's fighting in order to purify his own self. He's struggling, that ego is struggling to maintain his individuality, and we are struggling or fighting with him to send him back to heaven so he maintains divine perception, just like all the gods and goddesses perceive in the Garden of Bliss. So also the ego gets to go to heaven. Mahishashura Mahabir Sarva Rishtabhinashanam Deva Griha Chitam Bhaktya Griham Prati Pasidame Mahishatva Mahabira Indradi Deva Maritva Divyastra Taritabupa Get the Haswargam Namostute. Go to heaven. And I bow to you. Go to heaven right now. Remember who you are, Mr. Ego. Go to heaven. Gat the Haswargam Namostute. I bow to you. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.